going on, everybody? RogersBase here with my review of One Punch Man anime episode 10, Unparalleled Peril. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed this episode. No big surprise, but I think the way the first half of this episode was going with all that setup, I wasn't necessarily sure that I was going to like it as much as I did. But ultimately, in the end, when we got that giant fight with all the S-Class heroes versus this new God-level alien threat, how could you not be hyped? It's clear that this is the storyline that this season of the anime is going to end on, and I couldn't be more excited. We get that little flash of who I presume to be Lord Boros at the end. Whoa! Oh man, that last little sequence with Saitama running through the spaceship, just punching every one of the underlings. We get that one, like, I can't even remember what his name is, it's like something with a G, and he comes jumping down. He says he's going to shoot him with acid spray breath, and then, like, before he can even finish his little thing, Saitama just punches him to oblivion, runs up, and he's like, you know, I've been attacking all these underlings. Where's the boss? And then, like I said, we see that final spread of who I presume to be Lord Boros from the promo, so I can't wait. This is extraordinarily exciting as somebody who is an anime-only watcher and who's not yet read the manga, because I don't know what's going on. All these characters that we got introduced to, all these S-Class heroes, like, I don't know their powers yet. I don't know, like, how powerful they are, if some of them are faking it, like, what's going on. I love it. I loved every little bit of this. I think it's a great amount of setup. The animation was once again on point. I mean, it's something that I feel like I don't even need to mention at this point. I feel like if the animation is good in another anime episode that I review, you know, and it's not One Punch Man, then I have the need to sort of like bring it up. But it's just always been so good in One Punch Man that I feel like it's not even something that I need to bring up in any of my episode reviews. But with that being said, let's sort of run down what happens in the episode. So the first thing that we see is a fight between Tornado and the Lizard King, the Tatsumaki Tornado, whatever you want to call her, the little green-haired girl with telekinetic powers. And I gotta say, I actually really thought that fight was funny, where it starts off, the Lizard King's crawling out of the ground, and he's saying he was waiting for the Deep Sea King and for the Subterraneans to actually be defeated, so then he could finally take his place among, like, the kings of the earth. And then Tornado just drops from a plane out of nowhere, starts floating in the air, is talking on her phone. The Lizard King's like, what's going on with you? And she's like, hey, could you be quiet, man? Like, I'm trying to make a phone call right now. And then he's like, he puts his chin out, and she starts making fun of his chin. And then finally she's like, all right, what's the deal with you? And he's like, nothing could defeat me. The only thing that can would maybe be a meteor. And she's like, all right, I can arrange that. Then she goes Admiral Fujitora on this man and drops the meteor on him. And we just see him stuck in this, like, smoldering crater of hot lava and rock. We just see his skeleton laying there, and Tornado's like, all right, that was easy enough, and then goes back to headquarters. Tornado is hype. Like, I like her character. I know she's going to be a kind of divisive character among the fan base, it seems like, because, you know, she does have that sort of, like, powerful tsundere little girl trope that's in a lot of these shows. We saw it with Sugar in One Piece. It's been in tons of other shows before, but Sugar is the most recent example that I could think of. But overall, Tornado at least looks like she could put her money where her mouth is. You know, she does seem powerful. I think she's ranked 2 among the S-classes when we got the full rundown of the S-class heroes in this episode. So obviously she's powerful. If she took out the Lizard King with one meteor, I mean, naturally she's got to be somewhat cool. Now, after that scene, we jump back to Silver Fang Bang's dojo. We find out more about this one disciple he had named Garo. I have a feeling that disciple is going to come back somewhat soon, or he's going to be somewhat related to Boros. Again, I'm not a manga reader. I just watched the anime, but I feel like he's probably going to become important to the storyline within the next 2 episodes, because I doubt that they would introduce him this season and then not, you know, or like tease him at least. They didn't really introduce him. They just teased that he seems to be like this powerful old disciple of Bang's. And then we don't see him again, so he's probably going to come up at some point before the end of the season. But if he doesn't, maybe then, I don't know, maybe he's going to be like a big threat, quote unquote, during the second season. I don't know. I'm excited regardless, whatever's going to happen with Garo. But then we end up seeing all of the S-Class heroes for the first time, all of them at one table, because basically the Heroes Association called them in because the seer woman, who basically predicts disasters, choked on a cough drop and made her last prediction, which I thought was very funny, and then made her last prediction that the world is going to face unparalleled peril. It's going to end within the next 6 months. There's going to be a god-level threat. And then, oh man, like, I just want to do a quick rundown. I wrote them all down because I really want to talk about all these S-Class heroes. We see the quick rundown of all these S-Class heroes reacting to the news, and then their rankings in order. So we start off, we see Puri Puri Prisoner, that funny dude we met a couple chapters ago with or a couple episodes ago with the Deep Sea King fight. You know, rips off his clothes, gets naked, starts talking about all the guys he wants to get with, and then does the angel wing attack. Super funny. So he's bottom rank of S-Class. Then we see Genos, of course, our boy Genos, the cyborg. Then we see Metal Bat for the first time. Now, I have heard from a ton of you guys in the comments below, and I'm excited to find out more about this man, about how cool Metal Bat is. Apparently, Metal Bat is like a lot of people's favorite character. He's very powerful. I mean, naturally so. He's in S-Class. And we see a little bit of him in this episode with Atomic Samurai and Genos when they go in on that multi-headed, like, stone alien creature looking thing. But I'm hyped for Metal Bat. When we see more Metal Bat, and you guys can leave in the comments below. Again, I don't care about spoilers with One Punch Man. Leave in the comments below if Metal Bat does some cool stuff coming up soon, because I'm feeling that Metal Bat hype. He just was awesome. And that little bit he had against Tornado, and Tornado's telling him to shut up, and he's like, you know what, I missed my little sister's piano recital for this, so how about you shut up? Like, I love him. He's great. Metal Bat's cool. All right. Then we meet Tank Top Master. So is this dude related to those other Tank Top Scrubs? I'm assuming probably. I'm assuming he's the master of those guys. The Tank Top Scrubs in C-Class who were trying to, like, knock people out. Or were they B-Class? I don't even remember. They're Scrubs. It doesn't even matter. Tank Top Master. Who's after Tank Top Master? I'll get some water real quick. Tank Top Master. Flashy Flash, who just, like, we didn't see anything of. Maybe he's cool. I don't know. Then we get Watchdog Man, who noted that someone farted in the room because he's part dog, which was just like very, very funny and out there during this very serious moment where they're going through all the S-Class heroes. But Watchdog Man, cool. After him was Super Alloy Black Luster, who I'm assuming, based on his name, is probably like this show's version of Luke Cage, this guy who like can't be broken. But I don't know. The dude's face looks really funny though. But Super Alloy Black Luster, we see him a little bit later on too, when they're having that conversation with King before they go in on the alien spaceship. So I'm excited to find more about him. Then we got this guy, Pig God, this fat, ugly looking like fat roll dude named Pig God, who just is eating the entire time during the meeting. I want him to just die or something. I don't like him already. Even if he has some cool power, I don't like him. He's gone. Then we get Drive Knight, who's basically just like Meta Knight. He's got this like one eye that goes back and forth, and he's got this mask on. He seems cool, whatever. He's just like boring. I don't know more about him. Then we got Zombie Man, who looked like he was kind of already dead, but he doesn't really look like a zombie. He was just like bleh about everything. And then we get King for the first time again. Another one of those characters like Metal Bat that a lot of you guys have been teasing me that King is just hype. He's this funny, awesome character. I can't wait to find out more about him. They seem to be teasing him a lot with his heartbeat. I don't know what's going on. Is it like a power with his heart or something? Is that like what gives him his power? I don't know, but King seems very, very cool. Strongest man on Earth. Can't wait to find out more about King. Then we got Metal Knight, who was absent, but we've actually met before. He's the guy who's controlling that like robot that was trying to take down the meteor. I think that's when we last met him, I think. But regardless, we see Metal Knight again. Then we see Child Emperor, this little kid with like a lollipop in his hand, saying, oh, I'm missing exams for this, and blah, blah. I like him too. I don't know. All these S-Class heroes, I feel like they have weird quirks, but I'm liking these characters. And then we get into the top four. We got Atomic Samurai, who, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Atomic Samurai really quick, because when he meets Saitama for the first time, this man just smacks away his hand. He's like, listen, you're not strong enough to talk to me. And right there, I'm like, I feel like you're going to be a little bit of a scrub, because if you're doubting Saitama's power and you're not giving him the benefit of the doubt, I don't know about that. And obviously, Tornado's treating him the same way, but I don't know, I was feeling a certain way about Atomic Samurai, but then when he ended up coming through, fighting that multi-faced stone alien near the end of this episode, I was like, all right, Atomic Samurai, I feel you. I feel you, middle-aged man samurai, Mr. 37-year-old samurai. I'm digging you, Atomic Samurai. Then, top three. And these are, well, the first two of these three characters are characters you met already. Number 3 S-Class rank, Silver Fang Bang, the guy who was running the dojo. He seems like he was more powerful in his prime than he is now. But then again, you know, if he trained this guy that they keep hyping up, Garo, then maybe he is something. Then we got Tornado, of course, my girl Tornado, who took down that Lizard King. And then finally, Blast. Now, I don't know what's going on. He was the absent rank 1 here. Obviously, they're saving him for a future episode. I'm presuming if this is a God-level threat, we will see him before the end of the season. But I don't know what's going on with Blast. I want to find out what his power is. If you are the rank 1 S-Class, there's got to be something going on there, unless he was like put there through nepotism or something. Maybe he's got a butt chin like the guy who runs the organization too. I don't know, but I'm hyped. I want to find out more about Blast. And then finally, we see after that whole spread of all these S-Class heroes, we see Saitama just sitting there like, can I have some tea, please? And I loved in the next scene when they're explaining all this stuff about the threat and about how the seer woman died. You see this little robot in the background get Saitama tea. It was just like those little moments, those little flourishes are what make the show so good. It's so clear that the animators, the writers, everybody has such a passion for these characters and for this storyline that it really just shows through in this anime, more so than any anime that I've watched this season, honestly, that I've watched in the past few years. I think the last show that's kind of made me feel like this, that was a new hype anime that everybody was on the like hype train for, was Attack on Titan. I feel like the last time I've been this excited about a week-to-week episode for a show was Attack on Titan. And I just think that's great. Next year, if we get a second season of Attack on Titan, and then at the end of the year, a second season of One Punch Man, it is done. 2016 confirmed for the greatest year of anime, especially considering the stuff that's going to be going on in One Piece next year. Woo! 2016 is going to be awesome for anime. But regardless, I want to jump into the last little bit of what happens in this episode before I wrap up this review. So we see the Sky King come in and then immediately get slashed in half in what I think was one of the goriest scenes that we've ever seen in One Punch Man. We see this dude get slashed in half, blood going everywhere, look like something out of Fist of the North Star, and we see this multi-faced stone alien drop down from the sky. And then we see Atomic Samurai, Genos, Metal Bat, all going in, and then one of Atomic Samurai's like subordinates or underlings too is going in this guy. They're all trying to beat him, and every time they slash him up, he just comes back even more powerful. So I don't know what the deal is with all these alien dudes, but I feel like this is, and obviously Saitama can take care of them. He was beating them up really quickly, but this is clearly something that the S-Class heroes have not yet faced before. This is a new, unparalleled peril, just as the title of this show said. And then, I really liked that sequence where we see that multi-faced dude who slashes up the Sky King just get even stronger and say, finally, someone who can fight. Because if this guy, this underling, this soldier of these aliens is taking on these S-Class heroes, what does this mean for Lord Boros? What does this mean? I am excited. I am hyped. I'm giving this episode a 4 out of 5. I think it was fantastic setup. But guys, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this week's episode. Like this video if you liked anything I had to say. And if you agree with me that that final sequence with Saitama going into the alien ship and blowing everybody up and seeing all those S-Class heroes was deserving of that 4 out of 5 rank, again, leave it in the comments below. And finally, please be sure to subscribe because I bring you guys reviews of One Punch Man, One Piece, Once Upon a Time, and a whole bunch of other shows every single week. So until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye!